Hello sports fans, it's me, Sportsman Z. And today I want to discuss a couple of things that are really going skyrocketing on YouTube. And one of them is their new terms of service, something in their new terms of service, and COPPA. Now I'm not going to go too in depth on really either one of them, because there are countless other videos out there that you can get a lot more information on. But I'm going to touch on them briefly, and I'm going to talk about my reaction to them, just to let you know. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying, yes, I'm a small channel. I don't have even 1,000 subscribers, and I'm not monetized. So, I don't know, as far as COPPA, I don't know what that means for me, but I suspect it doesn't mean a lot. But anyway, let's delve into this. First is the terms of service. If you are a content creator on YouTube, you know that YouTube is coming out with some new terms of service. This is common. YouTube does it all the time. They update their terms of service, they add things to it, and as content creators who have access to the platform for free, we have to abide by the terms of service, and it's not out of the norm. Now, one thing that's got people really upset is that there's one specific thing that they put in their terms of service, and they call it out and they put it in like its own little mini paragraph, where they say that YouTube reserves the right to disband any channel that they find to be financially unviable. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, it means that YouTube can eliminate your channel, can take your channel off of YouTube unilaterally. That's the first part. And they always could. Here's the thing about that. They always have been able to do that to any YouTube channel. So this is nothing new. And financially unviable, or financially whatever they say, is not something to be upset about. They're not saying that channels that, and again, I want to make this clear, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not giving legal advice, and I'm not talking from the standpoint of the legal definitions or the legal aspects of this. But many people out there believe that what this means is, if they have a channel that doesn't make any money or doesn't make a lot of money, that YouTube is just going to wipe the channel off YouTube. First of all, that would be crazy, because the channels, even if you added up all the huge channels that are making, I don't know, $1 million, several $100,000, even if you added all of those up, they're only about 1, 2, no more than 5% of YouTube. The other 95+% are small channels and videos that don't make any money. So YouTube is not going to wipe those off the face of the platform unilaterally. I don't believe. I just don't think that's going to happen. So certainly channels like mine are fine, and really anybody's is. I think what they mean by financially viable is from the aspect of, they're not putting out hate speech, they're not putting out content that's going to make life hard for YouTube. That's what I believe they're talking about. So, people can calm down about that. The only thing that's different is that they put it in its own little paragraph and took it out specifically to make it clearer, is really what they were doing. They were just trying to make that more clear to everybody. because before maybe it was mixed in with some other larger paragraphs, and they just want to make sure that everyone knows that they have the right to disband your channel at any time. But they have always had that right. So this is nothing different. It's nothing any different. That particular paragraph is nothing any different than YouTube has always been able to do and always had the ability to do. So there's no need to specifically get upset about that, as many people are. Now the second thing is COPPA, and COPPA stands for Children's Online Privacy something, whatever. I'm not sure what the exact thing is. Privacy protection law. And basically what it means is that children that know, well, really nobody, not even YouTube's also, but no online service can collect private information on children under the age of 13. That's the legal definition of a child. And this dates back to a law that was put on the books in 1998. So the law has been there ever since then. It's just that now with services like YouTube exploding in popularity, things like this are coming to the forefront. So you're not allowed to collect the private information of children. Apparently, for years, YouTube did do this. They always have said that you had to be 13 or older to have a YouTube account. That's always been the case. But children have used it. Children under 13 have used it with their parents' consent to do so. And for years, YouTube has been inserting commercials into children's content that was specifically targeted at children. And Google and YouTube were collecting their private information. So they got slapped with a hefty fine of about $170 million or something by the FTC. And they obviously don't want that to happen again. So now they are, effective January 1st, there are going to be new rules and regulations in place, and those things are starting now. If you've noticed, if you're a content creator and you've noticed that when you do a video, you are required to say whether your video is specifically targeted at children or it is not. It's not intended for children. You can also do the same thing with your channel as a whole. But maybe you have some videos, there's a third choice, and the third choice is I'll do it on a video by video basis. Now, I just say that my video is not intended for children, because it really isn't. It's sports talk, and it's meant for adults. So I just checked the entire channel. This channel is not, the material on this channel is not targeted towards or intended for children. So you have the choice to either check that or check, yes, my videos are targeted at children. And some video channels do that. There are channels that do toy reviews, that do game reviews, and they can definitely fall under that definition. Now, one thing we'll get to in a minute is no one really knows, even if that's the case. If you do toy reviews, probably you're going to fall under that. But gaming, card collecting, some of these things can be construed as being for adults. So here's the problem, all right? If you are a content creator and you check that none of your videos are targeted towards children, as long as nobody calls it out and no one says any different, like YouTube doesn't say any different and the FTC does a review and concurs with your assessment of your videos, you're fine. Everything stays the same. The problem comes where if you do content that is targeted towards children and you say that your channel is targeted towards children, or some of the content is, there are certain things that are disabled for those videos. And if your entire channel is built on that, for your entire channel. The first thing is comments are disabled. No one can leave a comment at all. You can't put tags and you can't put end cards. I'm not even really sure what end cards are. You can't do, you can't put together video lists. You know, you can't group your videos on your page. You can't, there was something else that was pretty big in there. And you can't, whoever would want to watch your channel or does follow your channel will not be notified when you put out a new video. So those are all pretty bad things, because basically it makes your channel almost invisible. The only way someone would know that you put out a new video is they would have to go to their subscriber list specifically and look for your channel and click on your channel to see if you have any new videos out. So that is kind of a pain. Also, the commercials in children's videos will just be stock commercials that are not targeted towards any specific group. And I don't know that much about this because, again, I'm not monetized and my videos don't have ads in them, which I'm sure my audience appreciates, at least for the moment. But if you just have a stock commercials in your videos, those don't pay nearly as much as targeted videos do. So, if you are a channel that reviews toys, that reviews children's toys, and meets some of the characteristics that YouTube has put out, and you can go read these because I don't have them all committed to memory, but one of them is that it has children's music in the video. It uses animated characters in the video. It has guest stars or talks to people on the video that are children's icons, children's, you know, the equivalent of like a sports hero for whatever, older kids or adults. Celebrities, that's the word I was looking for. Children's celebrities. And there was a few others. There's a few others, and those are more borderline, kind of murky. You don't really know. But yeah, I mean, if you have children's music in it, poems, I guess poems was one. If you have music, children's music, poems, children's celebrities, animation, these videos would be subject to being what YouTube and possibly the FTC would consider as being targeted towards children. So we've already kind of discussed, we've already hit on what happens if you are a children's channel and you identify your channel or certain videos as children's videos targeted towards children. Now, the good part of this is that if you are a channel that does a mixture, you have some children's videos and you have some that you can clearly label as, you know, not targeted towards children, then only some of your videos may disappear or be hard to find. So that's that aspect of it. Now, the other aspect is that if you check your videos or your channel as not being geared towards children, and thus you have all of the accoutrements that everybody's used to. You can leave comments. Your video can appear in searches in the YouTube algorithm. Your video, your channel can notify people who have rung the bell that you have a new video out. All of that stuff can happen if you have videos not targeted towards children. So the bad part of this is that if the FTC comes in and determines that you have mislabeled some of your videos, in other words, you have videos that you have labeled not targeted towards children, and the FTC believes that it is a children's video, or it is targeting children, or it should have been known to be targeting children, then the FTC can hit you with a $42,000 fine. Now, here's my take on that. It's probably not going to happen. Not a $42,000 fine. Something will happen. If the FTC happens to look at one of your videos and determines that you mislabeled it, something is probably going to happen. Either you're going to have to take the video down, maybe something happens to your channel, maybe you get a relatively small fine. I don't believe that the federal government's going to go out and fine regular people $42,000. Nobody has that kind. No regular people have that kind of money. I don't have that kind of money, and I don't know anybody that does. So, I mean, unless you're a multimillionaire and you're just making videos on YouTube for craps and giggles, you don't have $42,000. So I don't really believe anybody's going to get hit with a $42,000 fine. But you will, if the FTC determines that you mislabeled videos. I'm sure something's going to happen. I don't know what that something will be. Maybe a smaller fine, maybe a $150 fine, $200 fine. You're going to have to either relabel the video as a child, a video that's targeted towards children, or you're going to have to take it down, or maybe you're going to have your channel disbanded or suspended for some amount of time. Something will happen, but I don't think it's going to be the $42,000 fine. But again, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not giving you legal advice and telling you that's not going to happen, so have at it. What I'm saying is I don't believe it'll happen. But I do believe something will happen. Now, the flip side of that also is, what are the chances that the FTC has the manpower to go through and look at everybody's channel and look at every video on everyone's channel? I mean, some people have thousands of videos. Some people have 15,000 videos. So, which also makes it very difficult if you have to go through those videos and determine whether they're child-friendly or not. So, I don't even know that the FTC has the manpower to do that, but YouTube, I think, has insinuated or said somewhere that, hey, you know, if you're not sure whether your videos are child targeted or not, you may want to talk to a lawyer, because YouTube is going to stay out. They're going to wipe their hands of it. They're not going to give you advice. They're not going to tell you that this isn't or it is. And I'm kind of unclear on the stuff that I've heard on whether YouTube will go through themselves and delete your videos if they believe that they are targeted towards children, and you mislabeled them. Though they may do that. But I think YouTube is far more likely to do that than the FTC. But just know that YouTube has said that the FTC can do sweeps, and they can go in and they can look at anybody's channel, and they can look at anybody's videos and how they're labeled, and they can take appropriate action, whatever they believe is appropriate action. So just know that that can happen. So these are my takes on, this is just my interpretation, my understanding of COPPA and the new terms of service. Now, as for what I plan to do, I don't plan to do anything differently. First of all, as I said, I don't have ads in my videos. My videos don't generate revenue. I don't have even 1,000 subscribers. I wish I did, but I don't. And very few of my videos get more than 300 views or 400 views. So I don't think I'm somebody that they're even gonna bother with, YouTube or the FTC. So I don't plan to do anything differently. But even if I was a big channel with the content that I put out, I don't know that I would do anything differently. I would probably just label all the videos as not targeted towards children, because they're not. And I would just go on with life, and I'd let the cards fall where they may, because I think I got plenty of defense to say that my content is not targeted at children. So that's my take. Obviously, there are channels that would fall in some kind of different category, like the ones that do toy and game reviews, especially games that smaller children could play, like board games, and toys that smaller children would play with. But anyway, the FTC is working on this. They're going through this. They're trying to refine it. I think YouTube is working with the FTC. So maybe by the time January 1st hits, things will be amended, and it won't be as bad as it sounds right now. Because really one of the unintended consequences of doing what YouTube is doing is that if you make child content almost invisible, where people have to jump through hoops to get to it, so that nobody knows where it is and nobody can watch children's content and it doesn't get recommended to anybody, and yet you have children on YouTube watching YouTube, what are they going to be watching? They're going to be watching the adult content that does have the regular targeted ad revenue in it, and may in some cases be inappropriate for children, far less than just not targeted at children, could be inappropriate for them. And that's what they would be left to watch, because they can't find their children's videos anymore. So, I mean, really, this whole thing, the FTC and YouTube should not be meddling at this level with content creators, because this is up to the parents. And whatever you want to say about parents nowadays as compared to parents in my day, my parents and my grandparents, whatever you want to make the comparison, it's the parents who should be patrolling what their children are watching on YouTube, as my brother does. My brother watches my niece and what she's watching on YouTube. So it's the parents who are supposed to be knowing what their children are watching and preventing them from watching anything that's inappropriate, and steering them in the direction of what is geared towards them. It shouldn't be the FTC's job to do that. It shouldn't be YouTube's job to do that. So that's just my take. What do you guys think? You think I'm off base in my analysis? Certainly my analysis is not as the sky is falling as some of the other people whose videos I've seen. But again, if you are a child content creator, yes, you're gonna have problems. So anyway, leave a comment below. Here's my contact information again. You can contact me at any of these, the Twitter, the Instagram, or my email at the bottom. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up if you like my assessment. Thumbs down if you think it's way off base. Hit the bell so that you're notified whenever I have a new video out, which I'm hoping will not be disabled, but it probably won't be because I have tons of videos. Well, all right, I don't even have tons of videos, but I do have a high percentage of my videos that could clearly not be considered targeted towards children. So, if you, I just want to hear people's comments on that. What do you think? Is my assessment way off base? Do you feel a little better hearing my assessment as compared to some of the other stuff that you've heard? But for right now, it's Sportsman Z, Bob Zolke, signing off about YouTube's terms of service and COPPA.